This is a tutorial on how to put down paper bag flooring. Stay tuned to learn. This is what my floor looked like before, a concrete overlay with grooves. This is the polyurethane that you're going to be using. You're also going to need a pair of latex gloves. You might want to get a few pair because they do wear out pretty quickly. This flooring can be done over any existing floor. As you can see, this is a concrete overlay that started to chip and peel. The items that you'll need are a spray bottle of water, a roll of construction paper. You will need a paintbrush, and you will need polyurethane made for floors. You tear the construction paper into pieces that are manageable, and you spray them with water and crinkle them up. Okay, and then you're going to take that wad and straighten it out slightly, smooth it out. I usually get a few pieces going so that when I'm ready to begin flooring, I'm ready to go. As you can see, there are some straight edges when you tear the paper. Some you're going to need and some you will not. The straight edges go against the wall, and if you do not want the straight edge, it's easily torn off of the paper. So just continue to get you some pieces together and wad them up, spray them with water. They're a lot easier to crinkle if they are sprayed with water. So you just keep working and tearing and getting the pieces ready before you start putting the polyurethane down on the floor. So, as you can see, tearing the paper, I usually tear a huge piece and then I rip it in half like that. They are a lot more manageable if they're about that big. Get yourself a pair of really good knee pads at Lowe's or Home Depot. They'll save your knees while you're doing this project.
Now, I like to go along the edges.
Okay, we're about to get started.
Get my straight pieces out of the way first. I'm using a just plain, this is not a natural hair, it's a synthetic hair brush. I like to use a 4-inch because it just feels nicer in my hand, and and you make sure you stir really well. Don't shake because you'll get bubbles in it and then that'll show up on your floor. So stir really well your can of polyurethane. Start out I just kind of dampen the floor before I put the polyurethane down, and also dampen the piece of paper. Now your thickness on this paper it's pretty thick. It's a little bit thicker than a bag that you would get at the grocery store. So don't use anything too thin or it's not going to hold up. So you dip your brush in, start brushing on. I always overlay and overlap because you just never know. You got to make sure those edges are down. And you're going to put the polyurethane everywhere that the paper is going. Okay, so I take my plain piece of paper. And get it right up there next to the edge. And then I smooth it into the polyurethane. I think I found underneath here that I didn't put any poly on, so keep going. And then as you get it smoothed down into the poly that you put on the floor, Then you're going to poly over top of it. And smooth it as you go. Notice I'm wearing plastic gloves because this stuff gets kind of messy if you leave it just on your hands. But if you use gloves, it takes off. It comes off really easily because obviously the gloves are what get poly on them and not the. I have grooves in my floor. If you're putting this on a concrete floor, you're not going to have the grooves that I have. I had a concrete overlay done down here in the basement, and it's lasted about 2 years. It started to chip, and so I didn't want to do that anymore. I'm going to do one more, and then I'm going to turn the video off. All right, a little wet, more poly. I think I got this at Lowe's. I'm not sure if Home Depot carries it or not. Okay, now see, I've got a straight edge that I want to get rid of. So I just go in and rip that right off. Throw it out. So now I don't have that straight edge. And you're just going to put them on random. You don't really want to make it too uniform, because then it's going to, your design will be too cut and dry, and it'll look contrived or like tile. I've had people tell me that this looks like a leather floor. All right, you got to make sure all the bubbles are out. And that all your edges are down. Now the wrinkles are good, because that's what gives it that veining look. That's it. I'm going to keep going. Okay, I'm in the corner here and trying to match up a straight edge. So rather than trying to cut another edge, I just go in, take a pair of scissors, put that up against the wall like that, and push it in, and then bring it out, and then just cut the straight edge. I don't have a razor. You could use a razor and just do it along the wall, but this is just as effective. And you can cut that off, and it fits right in there like that.
Okay, this is a perfect opportunity to show you how to stain the paper floor before you put the rest of the polyurethane on. I have two different colors because I had to buy new paper and they didn't match, so now I'm going to stain to match. You can also stain and use any color you would like. They have different shades of color, and so that's one option.
Okay, so I'm going to stain the floor to get it to match. I'm going to use the Minwax English Chestnut 233 to get it to match, because this has got a little bit of a red tint to it and this one's more brown. So see how this works. You always got to stir your stain. And I just use paper towels. I guess you could use an old sock or t-shirt, however you want to do. Oh yeah, that's going to look great. Yeah, that's exactly what I want. And because it's paper under there, it soaks it up. Now, I did not put any more coats of polyurethane. I only did the one coat to put the paper down and to get it to stick. After the stain dries, I will go back and put more coats, about 6 to 7 coats of polyurethane over top of that.
Let this dry overnight before you start putting the polyurethane down, and then just put the polyurethane layer by layer, letting that dry about an hour or two in between. All right, the floor is finished. I have put 5 to 6 coats of polyurethane over the floor. As you can see, it's nice and shiny and durable. I'm showing you the existing floor that I did a while ago. So if you have any questions, just type them in the response to the video and I will try to answer all your questions. Thanks.